Let's say that today we are close to 35% of the GMV made by the marketplace.
Really? So, I mean, that is pretty significant.
It is.
That was Simon Miss of French marketplace Cdiscount.com. Simon looks after international business development at the organisation, and it's clearly a key role. Growth for 2017 within the French e-commerce world is expected to grow by 14.6%, taking it to 80 billion euros for the year. And those stats are coming from the French E-Commerce Federation. So if you're looking to expand your online sales across Europe, and in particular across France, then drop into this podcast and just see what Simon has to say about Cdiscount.com.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Seller Dynamics podcast with me, Alec Ogilvie. And as listeners will know, what we like to do on the Seller Dynamics podcast is to talk about online retail. And in particular, we like to talk about marketplaces. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Simon Miss, who looks after international business development at French marketplace Cdiscount.com. Simon, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Alex, and good afternoon, everybody.
Simon, before we get into the details of Cdiscount and how it operates within France and Europe, it'd be nice to talk a little bit about you. What's your background in the industry?
I used to work in the UK for international companies, and I really enjoyed that. But I wanted to go back to France, so now I'm still working with UK, but from France now. So yeah, mainly e-commerce and international business.
Cdiscount then, it'll be a new marketplace for many of the people listening to this podcast, particularly in the UK. Can you tell us a little about Cdiscount? When was it set up? When was it actually founded?
It was founded in 1998, it's like 20 years from now. It used to be only like an e-commerce retailer, and with a kind of switched the model. So now it's like a retailers, but also a marketplace since 6 years now. It's really well known in France because, like I said, 20 years, it means like, you know, when you have some habit, you know, when you are a French consumer, when you want to buy, like, let's say, for example, a fridge, pair of shoes, sofa, TV, laptop, these kind of things, they go to Cdiscount to get a great deal.
Right, so a well-established brand in France that now is doing particularly well online and obviously now attracting marketplace sellers.
Let's think about that for a second. Cdiscount has been around for years. Almost 20 years. And in those years, they've built a brand and a reputation that has become a habit for the French shopper. But rather than rest on their laurels, they've now opened that brand and that reputation up to you as a marketplace seller. That strikes me as very generous, but they're giving you access to their hard-won market. And I think that's worthy of some attention. Let's see what else Simon has to say.
And I mean, that's quite big. We are more than 1,000 people working for Cdiscount. We're based in Bordeaux, a beautiful city in southwest of France. So let's say that everybody knows Cdiscount in France is like a key player for the French e-commerce retail.
So those 1,000 people that are part of Cdiscount, are they all based in Bordeaux or are they based around the country?
No, most of them are based in Bordeaux, and for that, after you have to add, of course, the people that are working in warehouses because we have our own fulfillment services, for example. So we got like a few warehouses dispatched through France.
Right, and are those fulfillment centres, are they only in France? You don't have fulfillment houses outside of France?
No, they are in France for the moment. All our customers are French.
Okay. So Cdiscount is a French marketplace only, serving French customers. Is that a good thing? Well, consider this. France is the 5th biggest e-commerce market in the world. The 5th biggest. In 2016, B2C across France grew by 11%, but marketplaces grew by 18%. That's how important Cdiscount, marketplaces, and the French B2C world is.
Now, to talk about the Cdiscount.com website then, I presume it's a French-only site. Does it have any other languages that it supports?
Not for the moment. For the moment, it's only French. Even though, if you are, for example, like if you're coming like from Scotland or UK, the back office for the seller is in English, and we are working with a lot of like English sellers already. So back office would be in English, but after the front website would be in French for the customers.
Right. So for retailers who don't speak French, it's not as challenging as you would think because of the back end.
Exactly.
You mentioned there that Cdiscount came from being a retailer itself. So how do you manage that difference? You mean there's a conflict there, isn't there, that you're dealing with retailers and Cdiscount is a retailer as well. So how do you manage that conflict? How do you avoid upsetting your marketplace sellers?
We don't really have any kind of conflict between, like, let's say, the retail part and the marketplace. We see that more than like a cooperation between these two services, because sometimes we have good deals for these kind of products, but sometimes we have like no deals at all. So a lot of time, marketplace is just driving, like the business for us. So it's really important. So we want everybody, happy on the marketplaces. It means Cdiscount itself and the sellers. So yeah, no, we don't really have a conflict for that.
Now, Simon says a couple of really key things there. For one, the back end is in English. So if English is your first language, then at least the back end is supported. But it doesn't stop there. It also puts aside this idea that there might be a conflict between their retail activities and your own as a marketplace seller. And certainly when you look at the results that are published by Cnova, the organisation that owns Cdiscount.com, you find the same. Just as Simon says about driving the business through Cdiscount, the reports are very much focused on about driving that marketplace world.
Let's say that today we are close to 35% of the GMV made by the marketplace.
Really? So I mean that is pretty significant.
It is.
How many products do you think Cdiscount list?
It's about 20 million products listed on Cdiscount.
20 million products, goodness. Yeah. And is there any indication as to how quickly that is growing? I mean, how many products do you think you add every year?
I couldn't say, but yeah, it's growing every year. What we want to do, because we are a multi-specialist website, what we want to do is to offer like a wide range of products, to our customers. So it's growing every day and every year, of course.
It's clear from what Simon has said that the number of products on the site is certainly increasing. So I had a look through the Cnova report and was surprised to see just how much that increase is. In the fourth quarter of 2015, there were 14 million product offerings on the site. By the fourth quarter a year later, 20 million, an increase of 6 million items over 14 million in just a year. That's incredible growth. That's up 48%. So to go forward with this, I thought it'd be important to find out if French buyers have any objection to buying from sellers based in the UK.
Yeah, that's a good question. What we want to do on our website, we try, of course, this is a customer has to know that he's buying from like a third part. But what we want to do is really to make things easy for the customer and for the seller as well. So first of all, when you're going to list, we will make that really easy. Thanks, like to, for example, like translation tool and this kind of thing. But after the customer is buying like from everywhere, it doesn't really matter if you're coming like from France, Germany, UK, China. They really like want to buy like the right product at the right price.
How many retailers do you think are actually using Cdiscount?
Retailers today, we have more than 10,000 sellers.
So really good numbers.
It is good numbers, and which is good. We have like sellers from everywhere because we have like a big team, a big commercial team in Cdiscount. So we're working like every day, with retailers from everywhere.
And when it comes to British sellers, what sort of help can you provide them? Can you help them with language issues, for instance?
Indeed, yeah. They have all like a kind of account manager, to help them on board on our marketplace. So we explain every steps. So we can explain, what kind of how to list your product, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how it works, and everything in English, of course. And after, if they have like any problem when they have questions, when they're asking questions, we can answer in English. So it's not, language is not a problem for us.
Understandably, you might be nervous about selling in the French language. But here's Simon telling you not to worry. The onboarding team are there to help. They'll help you with those issues. They'll help you with the listing quality. They've got 10,000 retailers on this marketplace already, and they're inviting you, an English speaker, to join them. Language isn't an issue for them. So don't make it an issue for you. If you are interested in the French marketplaces, have a look at Cdiscount. But what about fulfillment?
What we see is when people are using non-UK marketplaces, they often use a fulfillment service. And you mentioned that Cdiscount does have a fulfillment service. For those not familiar with what Cdiscount fulfillment looks like, could you explain a little bit what it does and where you see the benefits?
Sure. What it is really easy. For example, you are a seller of, let's say, I don't know, shoes. For example, you're selling sneakers, for example. Okay. You can directly send to us, a batch of your best products directly to our warehouses. So we'll take care of the dispatch and everything. So we will basically do the delivery in the last mile, which is a more complicated things, when you have to deliver to the final customers. Plus, what is good when you are fulfilled by Cdiscount is when a Cdiscount customer will actually buy your products, is going to be able to get the products in a day. So we are able to deliver the products in less than 24 hours, which is really powerful tool. And we can offer the delivery to our customer who got the special Cdiscount card, which is the premium Cdiscount, what we call Cdiscount à volonté. And it just helps you to sell more. And this is really easy for the seller because we are actually handling a part of the customer care as well.
When it comes to returns, if people are returning goods to you, does that go back through the Cdiscount fulfillment service, or does that go to the retailer?
No, it can come to the Cdiscount warehouse. And so what we do, we just analyze what kind of return it is, because sometimes it's just a mistake from the customer, or sometimes maybe the product can be damaged or broken for some reasons. So depending, the cause of the return, we can either just send the product back to the retailer, or either we can just resell the product.
Cdiscount fulfillment then is clearly aimed at getting your goods into the hands of your customers very quickly, 24 hours in some cases. That's got to be worth looking at. But what about that Cdiscount catalogue? How difficult is it to get your items for sale in that catalogue?
The new products that are being added to the Cdiscount catalogue, who decides what products are being added? I mean, obviously, if a new retailer comes to you, their products might not be in your catalogue at present. Do you check them for suitability? Do you do any kind of quality checks on things?
We do have some kind of restrictions. For example, we do not allow any kind of weapons to be sold on the website. Some products, are not allowed to be sold on any kind of marketplaces, or maybe some perfumes. So some products are restricted.
So if you're monitoring the products that are being added, I guess you're also looking very closely at the reputation of the retailer. Do you have certain metrics, certain key performance indicators that you have a retailer needs to meet?
Of course we do. We want to be really fair with our customer as well. So it means we have to work with really good retailers as well. So we have of course, the claim rate indicator. So if, for example, if you have for more than 1% of claim rate, we're going just to ask you some questions, see what kind of problem you have, just to help you. We just want to close your shop. We just want to understand what's going on. If you need some help, if you have a good, if you're ready to sell on Cdiscount. We of course, the shipping rate, see if you actually like shipping your orders on time, if you're late on delivery or not, these kind of classic ratings. But which is good, we have like a team of ECC, what we call e-commerce consultants. So if you need help, you can directly just to have a chat with them, and they can just help you on an everyday basis, just to help you just driving like more sales and get ready to sell on Cdiscount.
Now that has to be reassuring for retailers. If you run into problems, the e-commerce consultants at Cdiscount will talk to you and try and figure out what's going wrong and then help you recover the situation. That's very encouraging, that's very reassuring. It's difficult to sell on marketplaces, but certainly it sounds like Simon's team are there to help.
Is there common problems that you see happening a lot? Is there common mistakes that retailers make?
Yeah. For example, when you start to set up your shop, for example, you just like doing like a preparation time in 2 days, like you used to do with some other marketplaces in UK, but you just forget that you're selling to France. You need maybe a day or 2 days more just to pack and ship to France.
Now, this is probably a difficult question to answer, but if you were guessing, when a new retailer comes to you to be added to the marketplace, from that first contact to them being live on Cdiscount, what's a typical expectation? How long would that typically take?
Okay, I will answer to that question in 2 times, because there is two main things. It really depends on what you are selling. For example, if you are selling high tech with EAN, so European Article Number, it's really easy because you can match our database. Okay, so you can be alive instantly. Opening an account with us, you have like the right papers. So it means like certificate of incorporation, IDs, like really like basic information we need to open an account. It's really easy to be online and live really quickly. Let's say 48 hours, 72 hours.
Right.
If we have to create your product, it will take a bit longer because you will have actually just to create the catalog and after just send that to us. And once the catalog will be created, then after we just like going just to push like more information and have you live. So I would say as soon as we receive like all the administrative paperwork, it takes between 48 hours to 10 days to be live.
All right. So, I mean, not really a long time. And I guess, as you say, as you qualified there, the complexity is if the products aren't in the catalogue and need a little bit of work to get them suitable for being added to the catalogue.
Exactly. And for example, if you have 1 million products to create, of course, it takes more time than to create like 10,000 products.
And for a retailer then, I mean, obviously margins are important for a retailer. So what sort of costs are involved in Cdiscount? What's the kind of general pricing structure?
So we have a monthly fee, which is 39.99 euros. And after we have commissions rates. It goes up to from 5 to 20%. But 20% is really the maximum is for jewelry. The average is around like 12 or 13, something like that. But we know that you're not margin the same when you are selling, for example, clothing and when you are selling high tech. So high tech category would be like really low, between like 5-7%, something like that.
The good news is that the onboarding time is anywhere between a couple of days and 10 days. Though obviously if you've got a lot of listings, you're going to take a bit longer than that. But Simon's team are there to help. You get that loud and clear through what he's saying. They are there to help. And as for the fees, fairly typical, and they range depending on what category it is. So the ones with the thin margins, Cdiscount have obviously made their commission that little bit less. So that's okay. But what are they looking for? What type of retailers does Cdiscount really want to add to their marketplace?
If a retailer is coming to you, who are the ones that you're looking for? Is there any category that's more popular than another? Or is there a category that you would like to see improve?
Yeah, good question. We have, like I said, we are multi-specialists, but it's true that we have like top categories. So top categories would be high tech. So when I say high tech, it's really wide. So you have mobile, laptop, everything around like the hi-fi, so music and everything. After we have like the home category, which working really great. So everything like, let's say home appliances, decoration, but also gardening, pool, all this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
After, fashion is really good. It's working really well, especially like the sports or sneakers, every like really big brands such as like Nike, Adidas, this kind of thing just really work like crazy for us. Toy category is working really well, of course, for Christmas, which is coming. So Christmas for us starts October, starts really soon for us in France. I mean, like people try to find like the right toys like really early because they don't really want to go like crazy in the shop, during winter, during December. Car parts is doing really very well as well. And something which is really French is the wine category, which is, but maybe because we are in Bordeaux, so maybe that makes more sense.
It wouldn't be a French marketplace if it didn't have some mention of wine on it someplace.
Right.
When it comes to categories then, it looks like almost everything is fair game. So if you're in high tech, audio, etc., cameras, I guess, or if you are in home furnishings, or garden, or even toys, they've got a category for you and they're keen to speak to you.
So, I mean, when it comes to your normal working day, Simon, I mean, we mentioned at the start there that you look after international business development. But what does that mean? What's a typical working week or working day for Simon Miss?
It's what I do. I will try to summarize really quickly, but what I want to do is to make sellers' life easier, really. You are in UK, and I know that it's not easy just to sell, in France, because it's a different country, it's a different habit, different culture, and everything. So when I wake up in the morning and then when I go to work, it's just to find like a new way, new partners, just to help like UK sellers to sell in France. So this is what I do.
And will it be principally you that they would talk to, or is there other people that are likely to meet as they start to get set up?
No, it will be my team. I will be there just to do the dispatch, just to see if everything's working fine between Seller Dynamics and Cdiscount. And after they will have like a direct account manager who will be in my team, who I talk to like every day. That's my commercial team. So we'll just dispatch account to my colleagues who is going to just to explain everything about Cdiscount.
So looking to the future, is there anything that you can share that's coming up at Cdiscount that we should watch out for? Is there anything new and exciting coming up?
We do have these really good projects just to create products in a day, which we hope to have before Christmas. So every kind of new sellers want to list the product on Cdiscount will be able to list their products hopefully like in 24 hours, 48 hours maximum, which is like a big improvement for us. Mm-hmm. And we want to do like some really big offer for the fulfillment for Christmas. So this is something that is coming up, but I can't really just say anything for the moment.
Okay, no, that's good. And I think all retailers will be encouraged to hear that you're trying to get products added to the catalogue within 24 hours, because anything that can speed that onboarding process up has to be a good thing.
Always, and it's always better, for the sellers to have like the full catalog, online, because if you are going just to be involved with us, there is like no point just listing like few products. We need to have the full catalog just to have like your full potential online.
Again, we hear Simon being really customer focused. The next development for Cdiscount is about speeding up the rate at which retailers can add things to the catalogue. That shows a certain honesty and a high level of integrity, that they know where they need to improve things for their marketplace sellers. I don't know about you, but I find that really reassuring.
Simon, thanks very much for your time. I don't have any more questions for you. I'm sure I've taken enough up of your busy day. But before I let you go, we always like to end on a light note at Seller Dynamics. So I've got some very, very difficult questions to ask you. I've got 6 quick-fire questions.
Okay.
Are you ready for 6 questions?
Okay.
Bordeaux or Chianti?
Bordeaux.
Brittany or Côte d'Azur?
My heart is in Brittany.
Peugeot or Citroën?
Peugeot.
Rugby or football?
Rugby.
Asterix the Gaul or Homer Simpson?
Asterix, of course.
Tour de France or 24-hour Le Mans?
Gosh, you're hard on this one. Tour de France.
Simon, thanks very much. You'll be delighted to know that you scored 6 out of 6.
Thank you, Alex.
Simon, thanks again. And listeners, if you are interested in Cdiscount, then please go to cdiscount.com and register there. If you want help in that, Simon and his team are obviously there, as are Seller Dynamics, who you can find at sellerdynamics.com. Simon, thanks again.
Thank you.
Wish you well with cdiscount.com, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Alex.
And there we have it. Perhaps no surprises that Simon prefers Bordeaux to Chianti, but I'm sure we're all interested to know that he prefers holidaying in Brittany rather than the Côte d'Azur. And before we go, let's just remind ourselves of the opportunity that the French B2C e-commerce world presents, and in particular, the Cdiscount opportunity. I said at the start that the French e-commerce world will be worth 80 billion euros this year. Well, guess what? Last year, Cdiscount, according to the CNova report, generated 3 billion euros. That's a big proportion of that 80 billion. And remember, marketplaces in France are growing at 18% per annum. That's faster than B2C generally. So if you're looking to extend your sales in France, go to Cdiscount, get the help that Simon is promising you from his team, and start selling. And we're here to help, of course, sellerdynamics.com. And one final word on the podcast. If you've got any ideas for the podcast or any questions you would like us to try and address, just send us an email to podcast@sellerdynamics.com. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.